All right, welcome everybody. I kind of want to do a little bit of a walkthrough through one of the questions from section 3.2. My dog started barking like crazy and I tried to edit the recording and it canceled and all that. So sorry it has the answers here given. But here is the question, and I copied and pasted it before it was clean. Actually, I snipped it. But I'm going to kind of show you how I would tackle this question just as we prepare for the exam. So I'll copy the important data, and then I'll hop over here to Excel where I actually have the question before I put in all the answers. And when I paste these, I like to use paste special because every once in a while we get a problem that the data comes in, but it doesn't come in as a number. So paste special seems to take care of that. Now, if you get a format that's really ugly, sometimes it doesn't work and you can just use something else that's better and hope it all works out well. So just a little tidbit of advice. So here is the data. And now I'm going to read through the question. A CBS News poll conducted June 10th and 11th, 2006 among a nationwide random sample of 651 adults asked those adults about their party affiliation, Democrat, Republican, or none, and their opinion on how the U.S. economy was changing, whether it's getting better, getting worse, or about the same. The results are shown in this table. And so here's the table. This is a snip again, so I put it over here. And as I start to answer these questions, I know I'm going to be interested in what the totals are here. So I'm going to just use the sum function in Excel and find the totals of these rows. And then if I go here, I can kind of double click and it will give me the totals for the rest of them. And similarly here, I want to know the totals of the columns also. So I'll use the sum function here and total these up. And then again, I can drag this way from that little bottom corner and it fills them in. Now, occasionally students will have a problem here. Well, this number in the corner, which is the grand total, is the total of this, and that will throw things off. So just pay attention that this total is what it says here, the 651 adults. Okay, so now that I've got that out of the way, I'm going to just find the probability here of a Democrat. So the probability that we have a Democrat here is going to be the total number of Democrats divided by the total number of people in our sample. So that's 236 divided by 651. And if you want to do some work here, you could do 236. I think I put a minus there. Oops. Equals 236 divided by 651. So I just wanted you to see that those are the same. A lot of times I just click the cells, but I kind of want to have you have this work here so you can see it. And now we're supposed to round these here, it says, to the nearest 0.001. And so I did this a little earlier. This is the retake. So I made the cell a little bit bigger so these probabilities would get stretched out. You want to make sure that you have at least enough decimal places here so that you can see how to round. So now I have 362 followed by a 5. So that 2 is going to go up. And so here is going to be my rounded correct answer for the probability of Democrats. Now I'm looking at the probability that the economy is getting worse. And so worse here, I'm looking for the total of the worses. That's 299 divided by the total here. And again, 299 divided by 651. Just so you have a little bit of work there. Again, I'm being excessive here to try to be clear. You do not need to do this for your exam. So I have a 9 followed by a 2. So this 9 is going to stay a 9, and that's it. If the 9 had been followed by like a 5 or up, I'd have to make the 9 go up, which would make the probability 0.460, and that's okay. So now I have the probability that we're worse given a Democrat. And so I'm going to add a little space here. I'm going to actually make this a little bigger so that we can read these. Now, with these ones, when we're given that, we're worse given that we have Democrats. Essentially, when we do that, we're narrowing down the group that we're looking at. So I kind of like to just highlight maybe the row here or column that I'm looking for. And so what this changes here is we're only looking at this group of people. So my new total for my sample size is 236. Now, this is the way I like to tackle these. The successes are the worsers. So the people that think that the economy is getting worse, and we divide by now the new total. We're only looking at the Democrats here. And so again here, that is 137 divided by 236. there, just so you can kind of see what I have happening here. And you can see in the cell what I've got going on right here. And now I need to round this. 0.580 followed by a 1, so 0.581 for my probability there. Now, the probability that it is Democrat, given that worse, and so, oops, don't want to do that yet. So we're given that worse. So now we've kind of switched gears here. We're looking at just this column. And so the Democrats out of here, 137 divided by 299. Kind of that intersection there. Oops, I did that this time. 137 divided by 299. Changing up the order here. And then 0.458 followed by a 1, so 0.458 works there for the answer. And now one more, the probability that we are Democrat and worse. And so Democrat and worse is sort of the intersection of these two things here. So 137 is the number of successes because that's the group that's both Democrat and economy worsening. Anyway, but we're not given that. We're divided by the 651 here. So there it is. And again, that's 137 over 651. I want to give you those numbers here so you have them if you want them. Again, you can totally click the cells. Here we have 2104, and so that'll be 0.210, which Excel will shorten for me. But there we have the answers. Now, I don't quite remember if I said this earlier. I did it in the previous recording. I've had a few people who are like, hey, I got this wrong because of the rounding error. Classically, back in the day, we used tables a lot in statistics, and the tables had 4 decimal places of accuracy. So if something's not listed for your answer, probabilities are given as decimals rounded to 4 decimal places. If we have information given here, like this one says round to the nearest 0.001, we'll do that. If our data isn't given, like if we just have 2 decimal places of accuracy in our data, maybe we'll just stop there. But anyway, Excel is usually, not Excel, WAMAP is usually comfortable with more decimal places, but occasionally not so much. So anyway, 4 is a good rule of thumb. When in doubt, make sure you show your work, and I'll make sure you get points for the work done. Thank you for watching this. I hope it works out well. Sorry about re-recording and having some answers here already posted. Anyway, but I hope this helps you as you continue through the term.